Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this episode, I'll be teaching you how to make these miniature flower pot cakes. To start off, I've got my little molds here that I'll be baking my cake in. I'm just greasing the inside with some butter. Then, as an extra precaution, I'm also adding in some regular plain flour. And I'm going to run it all against the wall of the inside of the mold, dip it out into the next mold, and continue the process. And this just makes sure that the cake comes out nice and easily. And pipe in your preferred cake batter. I'm using a chocolate cake here, and I'm filling it just a little bit above halfway. You do want it to be a bit tall, that way when it bakes the cake rises over the rim of your mold, and that's what we're looking for. Pop those onto a baking tray and into a preheated 180 degree oven, 180 degrees Celsius without the fan on, and bake them for about 25 minutes. Mine took about 25 minutes, it might take a little bit more, a little bit less. You can see here how they're rising over the rim of the mold, and that's what we're looking for. Once those are done and they're cooling, I'm going to start making some roses. So I've got my rose mold here, and I bought this on eBay. Just put a little bit of cornstarch into the rose mold, and roll your pink fondant in cornstarch as well. Pop it in, press it in, make sure it's absorbed all the shape on the inside, and then press on the mold to pop that out. That's really quick and easy to do. And then I'm going to go over them with a little bit of steam using a handheld mini steamer here, and that'll remove all the excess cornstarch so we have a nice pink flower showing through. Now to prepare our cakes, I'm using my serrated knife, and I'm using the rim as a guide to lay my knife against as I cut through. That way it's nice and straight. I'm gonna eat that. And then put a knife or a small spatula on the inside, run around the outside of the cake. That'll release it from the mold. And take a small cake board, put some buttercream and place your cake on top. That'll make sure it doesn't move anywhere. I'm using a 13 tip, number 13, and running it up the cake. I'm spacing them out about half a centimeter or so away from each other, the lines. And you could use a round tip if you like instead. I just like the texture of this, the lines. Then the way you make a basket weave is you overlap one of the lines, skip one of the lines, overlap, skip and overlap. And then as you go up the cake, you alternate. So now the lines that you previously skipped, you now overlap with some buttercream. Then you continue that all the way up the cake. And this tip in particular has a really nice texture. The lines in it kind of mimic the lines that you would normally find in a basket weaved basket. And once you reach the top, just cover up the cake so it's not exposed, that way it doesn't dry out. And start assembling your roses. So I'm adding a little bit of buttercream, just a small dollop, to place my rose on top, and that'll give a bit of a lifted look as well. And I managed to fit 3 on each cake. And to make the leaves, I'm using a piping bag, folding the tip, and then cutting it to create this sort of inside pointing triangle. And then squeeze and pipe out the little leaves. And this really, really looks good if you add leaves in abundance. So I went all the way around the cake, I added as many leaves as I could, and I covered up the top of the cake, and it just really gave it a really pretty finish. Add one in the middle as well, and then continue with the rest of your cakes. Again, doing the basket weave, you're covering one, leaving one there, covering one, leaving one there. As you work your way up, you just continue alternating that pattern. Pipe on your leaves, and you are done. And that's one of the many ways that you can create a miniature flower pot cake. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this really quick video tutorial, and I will catch you next time.